Hello, I'm British. You knew that because you've probably seen my videos before. And if you have, you know that I live in America. And in America, as a Brit, you get often asked about soccer versus football. Why is there a terminological difference? I've covered this before. The British came up with the term soccer. America later took it on. We stopped using it. But along with that conversation comes another line of questioning. And it is, Lawrence, you're British. What do you think of these American sports? So this video is designed to tell you exactly what I think of American sports. Here goes. Baseball, America's pastime, is a very interesting take on cricket. Cricket is a sport myself that I don't quite care for. In fact, baseball is actually rather more exciting. It's nothing like cricket, I should just get that out of the way, I'm just being facetious. But when I was younger, and by younger I mean 8 months younger, when the Cubs won the World Series, I was standing outside of Wrigley Field, and my gosh, I've never heard a sports atmosphere quite like it. And I've been to Old Trafford to see Manchester United play. I've been to Wembley Stadium to see Grimsby Town play, and the atmospheres didn't rival what I saw that night. In fact, the full scenes that you're seeing here you can actually check out on YouTube. Just go back in my history or search for it. But the rules of baseball to me are rather confusing, or I'd not looked into them hard enough. So I was standing there cheering like everybody else, really hammered on whiskey and beer, but I had no idea what was happening, just that the Cubs were winning. I mean, don't get me wrong, I cheer like a crazy man sometimes at games. Don't tell anybody that, it's our own private little secret, but I go a bit nuts when Manchester United score, or even if they don't score, you know, if they stop another team from scoring, or if somebody just does a dazzling piece of skill, I'll be there chanting like a moron. But every time the Cubs did a thing, I knew they'd done a thing because everybody else went raucous. I stood there going, did a thing happened, so I jumped up and down like that, and I'll stop doing it now because that was in the past. And it was marvellous. It was a great atmosphere. I just wish I understood the rules. I will get round to learning them one day. My first ever visit to a baseball game was at the St. Louis Cardinals. I went to the St. Louis Cardinals stadium in what was admittedly quite a boring game, but this was in 2011. Later that year, they won the World Series. Are you seeing a pattern here? I moved to Chicago last year in 2016. The Cubs won the World Series. Sorry, that was my high-pitched, excited voice that comes out when I get passionate about sports. But of course, baseball is by no means the only American sport, is it? Because you have American football. That's what we call it back home. You guys just call it football or NFL. That I've not yet got my head around. It's like rugby, but with helmets and shoulder pads. It's like the space race merged with the late 80s. And it's really stop-start. I think there is an appeal to that for some people. So they sort of stop and they move their people around and then they start again and the timer stops and no one knows why, or at least I don't know why. And they all just try to get more points than the other team, which is typical of a sport, of course. I've never truly understood it. But I have sat down to watch Super Bowls. I couldn't understand at the last Super Bowl why that guy wasn't offside when Brady threw it to him. And why did he have it in his hands? This is football. Yeah, NFL is a weird one. So please, you know, if you want to lay out the rules, send me a link to ESPN. One thing I do know about the NFL, though, is that the Indianapolis Colts won the Super Bowl in 2007. And guess what? That was the first year I visited Indianapolis. Again, good luck charm. Right? I did the same, actually, in baseball, going back again to baseball, when I visited Boston in 2004. The Red Sox won the World Series after, what was it, 84 years having not done so. I am the lucky charm you need. So which city should I visit next and be a good luck charm to you? Just let me know and I'll make it maybe happen, depending on funds. Maybe I'll place a bet or two on a sports team and that will fund my trip. Since I'm so good at being a charm, perhaps I can be a charm for myself at the bookmakers. And then there's basketball, isn't there? So there's college basketball and then the NBA, right? And I think I understand basketball a bit more because in many weird ways, even though they use their hands versus feet, it's kind of like football, in a way, soccer, in that it's very end-to-end, you know, like that. And, you know, you pass to your teammate and all that, and they've got to try and dunk it into what is essentially a net, or you call it, what, hoops? Basket, I guess. And it kind of makes sense to me. I just don't know how anyone can jump that high. I struggle just getting out of bed in the morning. I can't touch my ceiling. How do they do it? It's like 900 feet in the air. That's an exaggeration, but it is up there. And they're just going, it's in. That's easy. It's in. How do they not break their legs when they land? So that's really, in a roundabout way, how much I know about American sports, having been here for 9 years nearly. Quite sad, really, isn't it? Maybe you could tell me in the comments below what you think of English sports. What do you think of cricket, if you've stayed awake long enough to watch it? What do you think of rugby? Can you demarcate it in your head enough from NFL? And soccer? You know, what do you think of soccer? Has your team done all right? It actually has. I mean, in the 2014 World Cup, they did okay. Got knocked out by Belgium, but there's no shame in that. Well, I mean, there would be in any other sport, but in soccer, that's amazing. So well done. So I'm going to go out for a game of footy, and that's a kickabout of the football. And if I don't get any more injuries, I might do another video after this one. If I do get injuries, this could be my retirement from both the world of football and from the world of YouTubing. So wish me luck, I suppose, is what I'm saying. This isn't beer. I wouldn't drink on the... It's just water. It's, what, LaCroix or whatever. Yeah, all the young people are drinking it these days, so I'm trying to get in shape. Alright, bye, and thanks.